2 pedals instead of 3. A great advance in modern motoring for learner and experienced motorist alike. This man has driven for years with 3 pedals and changes gear with the best of them. He always accepted the 3rd pedal as a normal part of motoring. He never gave much thought to the fact that his driving is quite a feat of muscular coordination. Did you ever play a game like this? It needs a great deal of concentration to do well, and it's just as much a waste of effort as going on driving the old way. Just consider how much physical work a driver does in traffic, and how well all his movements must be coordinated. As he slows to stop, he has to declutch. Each time he starts off, he has to balance accurately the clutch and accelerator movements. He has to synchronize his hand on the gear lever with the actions of both his feet. All this complicated coordination and accurate synchronization usually has to be carried out in the middle of traffic. Feet and 3 pedals never did look right. No wonder it's been almost impossible to find the ideal motorist. But leave the past and look at the controls of the present. This Ford Zephyr has fully automatic transmission, 2-pedal control. The Ford Zodiac can also be supplied with it. It's the simplest and easiest way of driving yet evolved. These cars hold a new experience for you, the experience of driving with fully automatic transmission. This is an engine with the new transmission. It makes driving much simpler, but it's quite a complex piece of machinery, but it has a lot to do, and it does it well. This is the fully automatic unit itself. There are 2 main parts. First, a torque converter. A torque converter is filled with a liquid, which gives great advantages over other forms of transmission. Let's look into it. This liquid is still, but when a liquid moves fast, it behaves and feels like a solid. A torque converter consists of 3 main parts. 1 plate that drives the liquid onto a second, and between these 2, a 3rd part, the stator, which varies the speed of the liquid as it passes from 1 plate to the other. The whole unit is sealed together. This is what it does. The car is in gear, but the connection between wheel and engine is through the liquid inside the torque converter. When the engine speeds up, the liquid spins faster and faster until it's going fast enough to make an almost solid connection between wheels and engine. But a torque converter does more than this. If you ever had driving lessons, you'll remember that an engine that could roar a car along at over a mile a minute could be stalled by what seemed the slightest misjudgment. It is a fact that a car engine doesn't develop anything like all its power when running slowly. That's one reason for having a low bottom gear. But sometimes even that isn't low enough. All this is changed by automatic transmission with its torque converter. Let's see what happens. It's impossible to stall the engine. The car starts smoothly and behaves as if it had a whole range of low gears that automatically and smoothly change up. But there's more than a torque converter in automatic transmission. There's a control unit that changes the gears for you. It's almost human. There's all that extra muscle to start you off. And what's more, there's a real brain. Let's look at an older car and see why brains are needed. The difficulty is that the best time to change gear varies and depends on both the speed of the car and the load on the engine. With this load, you should keep the engine speed high. Under normal load, the control unit changes up automatically at just the right speed from first to second. He doesn't have to lift his foot or slow down the engine. Perfect. And even a rally driver can't do better than perfection. He slows, and the unit changes down for him. He moves off, and the unit goes up through the gears. This is made possible by the second main part of the automatic transmission, the epicyclic gearbox. Gear changes are made by slowing down or speeding up revolving drums. You can see the gear train inside this drum. All the gears of this special gearbox are always in mesh. In an ordinary gearbox, you have to slide moving gears in and out of mesh to change gear. The epicyclic gearbox is a more intricate arrangement, but it makes gear changing a push-button affair. The full advantage of automatic transmission is most apparent in town and applies to both learner and experienced motorist. What could be easier or more pleasant than cruising along, speeding up and slowing down, stopping and starting, with only the slightest movement of your foot, and the right gear automatically selected and engaged for smooth, economical running. It's the nearest thing to having your own chauffeur. You can also get top performance with automatic transmission, but it adjusts itself to every whim of the driver. When driving hard, automatic transmission selects and changes gear at the best moment for full load and performance as accurately as it does in normal use. That really is brain work. But the best thing of all is for you to try it out yourself. Relax. You can really take it easy in a two-pedal car. The engine can only be started in park or neutral. We now move the control into drive, ready for you to move off. Release the brake, accelerate gently, and off you go. Lift your foot, and you slow down. Another touch on the accelerator. And then slight braking. No clutch, no gear lever, there's nothing to it. Normally you never hear the gear changes, but we'll make the engine sound louder than it really does. How's that for a perfect change? Even on a dual carriageway, you may want extra acceleration. A special control, the kickdown, comes into operation when you press down hard on the accelerator. This automatically gives you a lower gear for that extra boost. Sometimes you don't want to use the engine for extra speed, but to slow you down and save your brakes. When the control is in low, the car is locked in bottom gear. You won't normally hear it like this, but you'll certainly feel the effect. If you want to, you can descend a mountain road without using your brakes. Reversing is simple. Just stop and move the control to reverse. Back again to drive, and you're off. That's all there is to it. The correct gear is selected every time you speed up or slow down. Your hands are free to steer, and you're free to relax. Automatic transmission thinks and works for you. It's a completely new experience for motorists. Who ever wanted a third pedal anyway?